Thank you, Stuart. And a week before the big clash at Twickenham, we've got an international of sorts here today as England take on South Africa. And Gloucester's vocal following, bound to give Northern Transvaal a day to remember. And out come the South Africans on this, the final leg of what has been a pretty successful tour. Crowd has been building all the time. They love their rugby down here. And there's Joos van der Westhuizen, one of the stars on show today. Just waiting for Gloucester to take the field now. And there'll be a big roar, I'm sure, as captain Andy Deacon leads his side onto the field. Pretty well a full-strength team. And the stage is set for what should be a very intriguing afternoon of rugby. These are the teams. The home side, without Mark Mapletoft at full-back, continue to ask Martin Roberts to fill that role. Second row, Richard West, he's with the England A squad, of course, so Simon Devereux is at lock. Winger Paul Holford played for emerging England against the Tourists on Wednesday, so he has a score to settle. Ian Smith and Mike Teague, well, they're the side's two internationals. Northern Transvaal played 5, won 4, lost 1 so far on tour. That defeat against Ulster. 4 of the team have played for the full South African side. Prop Willie Hills, back row men Ruben Kruger and captain Adriaan Richter, plus the highly influential and excellent scrum half Joos van der Westhuizen. And watch out for the prodigious left boot of the young fly half Reinhard van Aas. And that's our referee. Well, he's just come from down the road, Bristol, Jeff Warren. And it's a very good afternoon to Jamie.
Yes, thank you, Miles. Well, it's a situation where Gloucester have got nothing to lose. They'll be happy in some ways as the no league pressures on them today. So an interesting game of prospect.
The rain falling, it's a steady drizzle. Let's hope it doesn't prevent some running rugby. Northern Transvaal were certainly looking to run the ball when we watched them down in Bristol on Wednesday night against emerging England. Here's Gloucester fly half Kimber with the first kick of the afternoon. Never had the length though, did it? And this is Dutoy to respond. And it's an easy one for Roberts. So in the early moments, time for the kickers to settle down. But here's a bit of innovation from Osborne. Van der Westhuizen, so strong and good in open play. See there, the slippy ball will be a problem. Fenley, the scrum half, seen a bit of space in behind the Northern Transvaal covering defenders there. All kinds of problems, and in goes Morris along with Glanville, who'd arrived, and Fenley as well. And a bit of fisticuffs early on, but nothing too dangerous, and the referee quite happy to keep the game moving, and a good start by Gloucester. Good awareness there.
Yes, indeed, especially by Bruce Fenley. The chip over the top, good pressure on the kick. Simon Morris, I think, also coming up with him. Ball bobbles, and there's Morris putting the pressure on. Carried over, Gloucester's scrum.
Northern Transvaal having the advantage up front. Stone the man. Now, big drive, asked for though by the home support. But it's solid, the response from Northern Transvaal. Fenley will have to move it. He's looked outside. Osborne tried the drop goal. It might still break for Holford. First to react is Dutoy. It's a bit of a helter-skelter start by the Tourists. They won't be too happy with their composure so far. The ball's gone forward.
Well, Northern Transvaal have got out of the pressure situation quite well. The pass from Fenley didn't find Kimber the fly half. It went to Kasky, which wasn't intentional, and good pressure on for the Northern Transvaal backs, and the ricochet goes in their favour.
Van der Westhuizen away. And his speed of pass away from the scrum will be one of the major talking points this afternoon, as will the left boot of Van Aas.
Mark on the floor for you, okay? Mark on the floor. Squeeze! Squeeze up!
John Hawker, the Gloucester hooker. pigtailed his man beautifully there. Devereux made the leap. And now on the drive is Holford. He came right off his wing there. Good play by Holford. Just short of that Northern Transvaal line, but they've lost it in the tackle, and the frustration showed, offside, and Northern Transvaal will get the penalty and a chance to clear. But we saw there the speed of Holford, the winger.
Super move, wasn't it? And the key thing was he came through at pace. It was a lovely line-out ball, popped in, and just a little short pass there. But look at the pace he's got on as he breaks to the tackle. Good tackle, though, and unfortunately, Gloucester can't capitalise on it.
Braidback made the catch, the centre. Glanville almost offside. Van der Westhuizen gets it away on the other foot this time. Hughes van der Westhuizen scored those tries at Murrayfield at the end of last year, and he will be a major player in the South African side in the World Cup this summer.
I think in these early minutes, though, Northern Transvaal are finding out that it's not going to be easy today, and Gloucester aren't here just to player friendly.
Sims making the leap. He's tied it up nicely by Window, and that's enabled it to be set back now for Kimber. Van Aas under pressure, and it's been a good start by Gloucester.
It certainly has. I mean, that's a superb pinpoint kick. Put Van Aas under a lot of pressure over the back of him. Nice bounce into touch.
Martin Kimber settling down now into the role at fly half here. And it goes over Devereux, nicely taken in by Ackerman. The referee has given Gloucester the free kick. A bit of lifting in the line out.
The lifting of the line out was pretty standard practice in South Africa.
Fenley showed it, it's Glanville. Oh, what a clean run through. Bad defensive cover by Northern Transvaal. And P.Glanville will be delighted with his start. He'll also be delighted that there wasn't a hand laid on him.
Indeed there was. There's a big hole in the Northern Transvaal defence. You can see the gap there. And Glanville just went straight through it. Scored a very comfortable try.
Fenley just delayed the pass and waited for the appropriate support. It came from Glanville, and Gloucester have the early score. We've played nearly 6 minutes of this first half. Well, it's L.Osborne who's stepping into the kicking role in the absence of Mark Mapletoft. Scored a hatful of points for Berry Hill last year. He was in fact inside the top 20 scorers nationally in the Courage League. So he can kick. And no problem with that one. The maximum 7 for Gloucester. They lead by 7 points to 0.
Well, here as we see the situation, and that's where Glanville's outside there. And you'll see the gap open up, and there's no way a flanker should be running. As we freeze it in there, you'll see as the fly half Van Aas is going to tackle him. That's crazy. It should be a flanker out there taking his own man, Glanville.
There's a couple of knock-ons in there, but it's offside, the reason for the penalty. And despite the heavy ground, Reinhard Van Aas will take this one on. As you can see, it's very central. The problem will be the distance. But this young man has a magnificent left boot. Scored 34 points so far on the tour. I must admit, when I saw the Northern Transvaal squad and saw Lance Sherrill in the squad, I expected to see him being the prominent fly half on tour, but obviously pre-season, pre-domestic season for Northern Transvaal, so they're taking a look at their options, and they might have been disappointed by what they've seen from this young player. taking his full allocation of time. All about concentration and composure, and you can't knock it with that kind of result. Excellent kick from Van Aert. It brings his side back into the match.
Yes, I can't honestly say they deserve to be back in the match. It's the first time they've got anywhere near Gloucester's half. It was only 10 minutes into it, but Van Aert certainly has got his sights on goal very early in the game. And Gloucester have been pegged back straight away.
If Northern Transvaal had to issue a warning that they have great ability with the boot, then that was the warning. I don't think Gloucester needed it. Have they done their homework? It's a useful touch find as well to follow the kick at goal.
Northern Transvaal have got to pick the pace up a bit. They don't seem to have the urgency and the desire at the moment to take the game to Gloucester, but they're in a game here. They've got to realise it.
Yes, the difference from this game and the one on Wednesday against emerging England is, of course, that Gloucester are a unit, club side.
And on a winning roll.
Exactly.
Well, a draw at Bath's almost a win.
It was their first ever point in the league at Bath, so it was a major achievement. But Northern Transvaal have gone offside. And we have a closer look at the other fly half. That's Gloucester's Martin Kimber.
He's had a pretty useful season, Martin Kimber, improved enormously. Big drop goal exponent, so he'll be looking for that opportunity later on in the game, perhaps.
It's another fine take by Sims. And Deacon works it back to Fenley. This is Kimber. Now he's a drop goal specialist, not this time though. And plenty of time for Dawie du Toit. Got good elevation on the kick. Really was anybody's. But Mike Teague shouting the orders, the experienced man, the number 8 for Gloucester. Fenley standing off with Smith. This is Kimber trying to get something going between Caskey and Osborne in the centre. Didn't quite work. The stress once again, that greasy ball won't be helping the backs today. And a knock on.
Good to see Gloucester being positive though, trying to use their backs, and the good thing is that they're coming into the line straight and at pace, which always gives you a greater chance of breaking through the opposition backs.
It's against the head. Van der Veste, Hazen can't believe it, but it's back with Fenley, and it's along the line from Kimber now to Holford. Holford, who was pretty well snuffed out of the game when appearing for emerging England in midweek. So he's quite keen to impress today. But once more it's the knock-on, and Northern Transvaal will get a chance to put it to rights up front, having lost that last put in.
Van der Veste has been spoken to the referee
about the right way to put the ball into the scrum. Gets the immediate chance to get it right. He certainly wasn't happy with the previous scrum.
It's quite an impressive front row as well for Northern Transvaal. It's held in by Richter, the captain, Van der Veste, Van Aert. Plenty of time for Holford, off to Roberts. Martin Roberts getting his chance in the absence of Mark Mapletoft.
Mark on the board, buddy.
This is Henry Tromp, the hooker for Northern Transvaal, South African A-man, but he'll be disappointed not to have hit his man there. Glanville, the try scorer. Fenley has hoisted a useful ball here. Pressure on Terre Blanche. Van der Westhuizen. Van Aert, they're lining up outside now. Du Toit. This is Breitenbach. Well, it might still work for Nordia, but Morris has got there first. His hack on, and maybe just a suspicion he was taken out a little bit late, but the ball was going out anyway, and the referee quite happy to let play go on.
Well, the half break was there, really. I mean, didn't really need to try and grab it on, and here the ball is missed and Morris picks up. Certainly Nordia didn't want to go down the ball, that's for sure.
Simon Morris back on the wing, having played a large part of the season in the centre. Van der Westhuizen. It's a lovely strike from Van Aert, but he's not got the right kind of direction. And Roberts slings it in very risky fashion. Can Terre Blanche get there first? Well, the answer is no, because Kasky got down well and bravely, but it had gone forward.
Well, Martin Roberts, he really thought Paul Holford was a lot wider. You'll see it out here, it's a long way away, but unfortunately Holford starts coming towards him as he throws the long pass. He stayed where he was, he might have held on to it, but it did put the Gloucester defence in all sorts of trouble.
Kasky, the man who got down on the floor in very brave fashion. It's going to be a day for wallowing in the mud, although the pitch has recovered well. I don't know if you saw any pictures of the recent league game against Leicester, but it was a total mud bath. But here come Northern Transvaal again. It's Nordia, the winger, who's been in real try-scoring form on this tour. And now it's the rest of the pack to help out. Van der Westhuizen, Van Aert, it's Breitenbach, and good tackle coming in. It was Roberts who moved up quickly. Breitenbach is robbed, but Gloucester offside in midfield, I think. A shake of the head from Roberts, but it will be a penalty in a very kickable position for Northern Transvaal.
Pity for Gloucester. It was good defensive play from their back's point of view. Wasn't the best move in the world for Northern Transvaal. The Gloucester faithful certainly not happy with the referee's decision.
But there were signs there that if given the space, the Northern Transvaal are a very dangerous outfit. Reinhard van Aert, successful with his first kick. It's from much closer in. Straight through the middle. A ripple of applause from the faithful.
They're not going to get much support from that side of the field, I can assure them of that. They'll get a few comments, that's for sure.
Famous shed, and there's only one side they're cheering for. And they're going forward now from the kickoff, the Cherry and Whites. The restart just too far in front of the Gloucester forwards, and that was the reason for an excellent platform.
41.85! 41.85!
Turning into a good tussle now in the line out. Now a chance to see the Northern Transvaal backs move. It was Breitenbach who made the incision in the middle. Du Toit running out of space, did well to stay in. Not now. Cross goes Deacon, and the Drayman by trade. Plenty of muscle, plenty of strength from the Gloucester captain.
Not the sort of man you want to see covering a cross when you're the fullback.
58, sorry, 47, 58.
Sims is lifted. He knows he's in a battle, doesn't he? Challenge against Johan Otto, and help to challenge. Richter. Van der Westhuizen. Van Aas. Straighten back and along the line now to Nordia. Bit static though, although they've managed to hold on to it in the tackle. And Van der Westhuizen has played that beautifully.
Well, he's rescued the situation because it was poor play by the Northern Transvaal backs. There was no extra man in the backline movement. It just went straight across the field. It was actually Kaski, I think, that took out Nordia in the end. But they got the ball back. And Van der Westhuizen put it down the line.
Grunts and the groans coming from every line out now. Kimber forced onto his left boot. Sacrifice distance there. We'll all go back to just inside the Gloucester 22 there, where there's a meeting of friends.
It's not a meeting of minds, that's for sure.
Now.
In the manner of speaking, they're not actually having a chat about it, they're actually getting down to grips.
Just in case any lawyer was listening. Van der Westhuizen. Just past the halfway point in this first half then. Kimber. It's a good catch from Dutoy. Was on the run. That was a good catch from Deacon. And he's not expected to do that. And I suppose all forwards now are in the modern game. Van der Westhuizen. That's awkward for Roberts. Kept his eye on the ball well because that hit was a big one. And he managed to work it back. Enough for Fenley to go on the dart. Morris. Good play this by Gloucester. Dutoy gets down. Off to Richter. Opening up a little bit now. Nordia slips and slides. Teague. He'll take on the challenge. I've never seen him do that before.
I doubt you'll see him do it again either. Because when he got the ball, the Gloucester faithful were fully expecting the Mike Teague charge. But it was a great passage of play. Northern Transvaal played past the parcel, trying to get out of defence. And as Teague takes it, you think he'd charge ahead. But I'm afraid, kick of a rugby ball, Mike Teague is not.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Mike Teague, 27 caps, also a British Lion, and a great servant of this Gloucester club.
I promise I won't do it again, he's saying to them. You know that, don't you?
Yes, honesty the best policy. Stuart, what are your thoughts so far?
Well, I think they'll be looking forward to getting on the plane to get out of England. It's been a long tour for the Northern Transvaal boys, and they're really not enjoying the hard ground. As John Webb said, they've got their high velt studs in here, and I can see Gloucester getting on top in the latter stages of this match.
It's a nice clean take by Ackerman. And a good drive as well, which has seen Northern Transvaal up to the halfway line. Van der Westhuizen testing out Roberts, but so far Roberts has been good underneath the high ball. But it was worked back by hand on the floor illegally. It was Roberts who has been penalised. Let's take a closer look.
Well, he took the high ball well enough, but you'll see he gets turned there, and he's not facing his own forwards. And the ball, which is coming back, certainly Northern Transvaal's way, I think it was Devereux that got his hands on it to put it back the Gloucester way, hence the penalty.
I think, to be fair, Roberts was in there as well, working it back. He certainly didn't leave it alone on the floor.
The key thing is he was turned the wrong way. That was the problem for him.
Good decision. And a further chance to see the ability of the Van Aers boot. Comes from a very sporting family. Both his brother and sister have played basketball for South Africa. So they've got it right in the genes, the Van Aers family. And that's a beautiful kick. He's not let us down so far. We've given him the big build-up. And it's 3 out of 3, and his side have the lead.
Well, it's a lovely clean strike, just inside the left-hand upright. No problem with the distance either. Well, you're going to get those sort of mistakes in a game when it's wet and soft underfoot. Certainly not the weather that Northern Transvaal are accustomed to. Loftus-Versfeld, their home ground, has never seen this sort of condition. I can assure you of that.
But it's all part of the learning process. And credit to South African teams. Since the reintroduction back into international rugby, they've tried every possible tour on every possible venue to get the required knowledge. Du Toit showing his ability as well. Both Du Toit and Van Aers have a left foot to savour. Watch this one.
Yes, it's a super kick. The other one who's got a good left foot is Van der Westhuizen, of course, has come off. So they've got 3 in the back line.
Fenley with the little shimmy, so the ball was pinched away from him. Offside, penalty to Gloucester. So the referee had spotted it and was just playing the advantage. Difference, of course, is that Gloucester will get the throw into the line out, and also those extra yards as well, found by Martin Kimber. Gloucester edging the line out. It's mainly due to that man as well, Sims. Ian Smith. On the charge, Hawker. It went forward. Shed don't like it.
Well, no, it's a nicely worked move on the short side from the line out, but it was definitely forward.
It's another one against the head.
All right, boys, run away.
And Hawker is having a storm. Osborne. Great tackle from Van der Westhuizen.
Van der Westhuizen, though, is not amused by the fact that when he puts the one into the scrum, it's been taken away from him. And that's twice it's gone in the Gloucester side. But he makes up for it for this tackle on Osborne. Copyfoot tackle, low, hard.
Otto getting his own back. Van der Westhuizen, Van Aers. Straight to Holford. Loves to counter. And he's thrown it away though. Nordeer's clean through. Nobody will catch him. Well, they kept running the risk. And eventually they were made to pay. And Francois Nordeer scores his 4th try on this tour. And they won't come much easier than that.
No, they certainly won't. It was Holford who beat the first man, and then he tried the lob pass over the top. And Nordeer sees it from a long way back. And once he got it, then forget it, because Roberts was in the line as well. And therefore no cover defence, and it's a simple try for Northern Transvaal.
Yes, if Holford was going to take on that pass, then he had to get it right. Very dangerous area of the field, and Nordeer, a real speedster, South African barbarian, has toured this country before. Van Aers with the conversion, and after that excellent start by Gloucester, Northern Transvaal have got the ship going in a pretty good direction now. A lot of it down to the kicking of Van Aers, now with that try from Nordeer. And Gloucester 7, Northern Transvaal 16 the score. We've got 10 minutes until the interval. Get the feeling Gloucester need the next score.
Well, they need to really play the game a bit more in Northern Transvaal's half, because there's no point in these conditions really running it from inside your own, because those sort of mistakes are going to happen, whether it be an intercept or a knock-on or something like that. But I think they've really got to get some concerted pressure down in the Northern Transvaal 22 area, which they had in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Just a touch. Let's give it a touch. Come on, Ross, let's do it. Thank you.
Trump with the throw. Otto got hands on it, but it wasn't quality ball, was it? South African bench going home after this match. Just that one defeat, a narrow defeat against Ulster. And it's good to see them here, isn't it? Barging in the line out. Ackerman penalised, and here maybe Gloucester's chance to get some more points on the board. It wasn't Otto, the man who caught the ball. It was that little shove at the front, which enabled Otto to make the catch. And problem there, a bit of blood for Ackerman. But he's all right. So L.Osborne scored those 3 penalties in the victory against Leicester. Good win that for Gloucester. It's an awkward kicking day. Just got to hold on to that grip on the turf. Made a reasonable fist of it though. Hard lines.
Great effort, wasn't it? Considering the distance and the sticky ground around him. Just shaved the right-hand side of the post. Would have been a good boost for that Gloucester too, having conceded 16 points relatively quickly. They wanted to bounce back.
I just felt they needed a score at that point, but they're just outside the Northern Transvaal 22, and it's Fenley. Kimber. Kruger made the parry, picked up by Smith. He got the call from Osborne, then Osborne lost his legs because the fine tackle came in, but this is Gloucester towards the Northern Transvaal line. Extra weight added now by the rest of the forwards arriving on the scene. They're almost there, and they get the put in.
Good advantage by the referee too. It was initially a Northern Transvaal knock-on, I think it was. But Gloucester capitalised on it well. Good pick up there. Ian Smith, dummy to Mike Teague. L.Osborne just couldn't quite get there.
But remember the early moments of the match, and they created something from this distance. Smith, though, just went burrowing in there and didn't make any ground, but Deacon lays it back. It's now to Fenley. Kimber got a chance to move it, but Roberts just runs back in towards the pack, but they kept it alive. This is Holford. Osborne grasping for it. It has gone forward. The referee just letting it develop. The window went flying in there. I don't think that was appreciated. It's led to a bit of a flashpoint.
Mike Teague taking on 3 of them. I thought Andy Deacon came in from the side, actually, that was the problem. But again, good play by Gloucester, keeping the ball in hand as much as possible. Just goes to ground there, and it's Van der Westhuizen when this ruck, ball comes out of this ruck, that he goes down the side, gets tackled.
Always in the thick of the action, Mike Teague. Never want to shirk a challenge. Important period this now for Gloucester. At 5 minutes before half-time, if they can just work it and use it, then they're back into things.
Well, that's right, and certainly, as I said just a few moments ago, that they've conceded these 16 points. The referee's given the penalty against Northern Transvaal, which surprises me somewhat, I must say. But because I thought Andy Deacon came in from offside, but they're going for L.Osborne's going for a shot at goal. And I thought that penalty should have gone the other way, unless there was foul play involved.
Well, the reason why he's given the penalty is for playing the ball off the floor. It led to the Villy Hills injury.
Well, he's got that wrong, the referee, because Gloucester certainly didn't come from the rear of the ruck.
First offence. Another chance for Osborne.
Not easy though, this one. I mean, wide out. He's had 3 very different kicks so far in the game.
Has to get the mud out of the eye so he can survey the scene. Got a big roar from the main stand. Flags are up. Just what his side required. Excellent kicking from L.Osborne.
It certainly is from that position on the field, right by the touchline. Super kick.
Six points the difference then, as we approach the interval. Northern Transvaal getting the put in.
It's important that Gloucester don't concede anything in these last few minutes of the first half. They've got back to 16-10, they'll be quite happy with that, having had that bad period in the last 20 minutes or so. It's important they hold on.
Richter was already standing off, wasn't he? There's that little flip back inside to Kruger. They used that against the emerging England team. It scored a try then. But of course they're a lot closer to the line. Van der Westhuizen scragged by Fenley. And now it could spill over a little bit. Offside is the reason for the penalty. And the referee just needs to stamp his authority here.
Well, yes, I mean, it's the tried and tested move. Northern Transvaal only seem to have one back row move, and they've repeated it second time today, and it's been happening all tour. Van der Westhuizen's going nowhere here, really. Fenley comes in with his foot, which actually wasn't the best thing to do.
After all of that, offside. Famous last words, but we've had no reason to think that Van Aers would miss, or will miss. I've laid myself right open there. But this to cancel out the Osborne effort. For the first time it's on the edge, and he has missed. Maybe just let the pressure of the moment get to him a little bit. He knew it was a big kick. Should have been Northern Transvaal ball. They had a couple of opportunities to collect. Both second rows missed it. And now Nordia on the back foot with Morris coming through for Gloucester. He says, you take it on to Dutoy, but Dutoy's kick eventually is cleaned up by Nordia. That all because Northern Transvaal failed to take in what was their ball earlier.
But Nordia, it was a poor pass back to Dutoy. That put him into trouble. But he also should have realised he was under pressure and pulled out of making the kick. But they look terribly safe, the back three, I have to say.
Fenley ready to continue the battle. We're nearly playing time added on for injuries. There won't be too much of that. Here's Fenley. Kimber resisting the drop goal, using Morris off the left wing. This is good movement. Roberts. They keep it alive with Smith. Long blast from the referee. And he's not happy with one of the Northern Transvaal players. Skipper Richter is being called across.
Well, it has to be for foul play because it was coming back Gloucester's side.
It's illegal use of the boot. Rousseau, who was penalised.
This is very much bonus issue for Gloucester. Right at the end of the first half, to get back to 16-13 would be a brilliant way to go into the break for them. Very unnecessary by Rousseau to put his boot in there.
Osborne steaming like a horse at Cheltenham next week.
I've always thought days like this, it's a good opportunity for players to go to the dressing room at half-time rather than have to stay out in the rain. But the governing body, the Rugby Football Union, doesn't think that's right, that players should leave the field. I've always thought it should be fair enough in conditions such as this. Just a little aside for you.
Thank you very much. Osborne turns away, confident that the ball was sailing through. That's half-time. Just what Gloucester required before the interval. Another Lee Osborne penalty. Van Aers has been kicking really well for Northern Transvaal. We've had a couple of tries as well, one for each side. And it's set up quite beautifully for the second half. Here at Kingsholm, the half-time score. Gloucester 13, Northern Transvaal 16. And we're back after the break.
Vesthuizen can score a try out of nothing. Second half starting, let's rejoin Miles Harrison.
And away we go. Northern Transvaal, just the third South African touring team to visit Kingsholm. It's one each so far. South African Barbarians and Transvaal, the two previous visitors, and Gloucester just have the one victory and one defeat, so...
That wasn't Van Aers' best contribution to the game so far. Poor kick really. The forwards have done pretty well to get it going forward from the restart. Really should have hoisted that one into the box. Put pressure on it.
Let's see what Gloucester can do from this. Teague beaten by Kruger. Lovely pick up by Van der Vesthuizen. That was right out of the mud. Morris. think he knew it was going out of play, didn't he?
Good kick from Van der Westhuizen too, predominantly left-footed kicker, but with his right foot that time. Just what Van Aert should have done beforehand. Lets Gloucester take the ball out of play, therefore it's Northern Transvaal's line-out.
Van der Westhuizen will have easier days behind his pack, won't he? Nordia was helping out with the pass away. One for Terre Blanche to chase. Roberts realising that he had to find touch. Simon Devereux, Captain Deacon, Mike Teague, and then right at the tail we've got Sims. Window with the pickup. Good kick from Kimber. And it's taken quickly. And here's Kruger. A strong man, of course. Picked up by Ackerman. Van der Westhuizen. It's only Van Aert out here. So he took the right option.
The only option, I think, with no left winger outside him. Certainly Terre Blanche had come across. It was the only option that Van Aert had to choose from.
They are a lottery, those lineouts, aren't they? Kimber. Kicked very well defensively. Henry Tromp has been caught offside, so he'll get another chance. Viv Woolley, the coach of Gloucester, will be disappointed with that kick from Kimber though, because he didn't find touch. Roberts has seen some space there in behind Dutoy. He's exploited it well. That's all Dutoy could do.
Gloucester are rather fortunate, seeing that Kimber missed touch from the initial penalty. They've got it down to Northern Transvaal 22.
Bit happier now. Fully in charge, of course, with Barry Corliss, the director of rugby, having left Gloucester in recent weeks. And the Westhuizen, that's a loose one from him. Teague's looking to react quickly. Nordia only just got it away. Communication lines all down there.
Well, I think he had two to choose from, and he put it straight through the middle. We'll see two players there. I guess splits them completely. And actually, they do well to recover. Nordia gets another touch.
It's turning into a good start for Gloucester to the second half. And there's a little disagreement between Deacon and Herter. It's a penalty to Gloucester. The Gloucester players should just move away. And the man who should lead the move away is Captain Deacon, but he was part of the row with Herter. He who laughs last and all of that, knowing that his side had the penalty, should have just settled for that. L.Osborne is in fact a very big Manchester United fan. I think of a few United players who'd be quite happy with Osborne's boot.
Except that he has to kick it over the crossbar, not underneath it.
Subtle difference. Just my team Forest who kick it over the bar. Osborne. He is on top form and knows it. Maybe we should call him Lee Sharp. 16 all. Well, Mike Teague makes his way from the field. That means big Rob Fiddler is on. Famous name in these parts. Father John, ex-Gloucester in England. Lack of discipline from Northern Transvaal in this last couple of minutes or so. Offside again.
Well, Gloucester have got a good chance of taking this game now. Northern Transvaal are not enjoying this experience at Kingsholm at all. The conditions are right against them. They're getting rather irritated at some of the referees' decisions.
Good work again by Glanville. One of those unselfish players. Kimber's high ball will test Dutoy. Well, he didn't look fragile then. But there's still work to be done. And the Westhuizen. It's disappointing. I think it was Terre Blanche who put in the kick. This is Roberts hoisting the high one. And the Westhuizen says, let's just cool it down. But he sees a little bit of space here for Van Ass. And he sees even more space now. There's Brayton back. Puts downfield. Holford goes back.
Great awareness from Van der Westhuizen. He saw the gap out to his left, tapped it quickly. Off they went, and from that penalty, deep inside their 22, they've got it down to the Gloucester 22-metre line. And that's where South African sides are very good. They're very aware of what's going on around them.
Nice and cool from Holford. Knew he had time, and he used all the available time. Fenley. Cross comes Dutoy rather gingerly. Underfoot, it's not to the South Africans' liking. That was Window who made that run, but also catch, and he's been penalised now for holding in. I was just going to give him a big slap on the back for some excellent play, but he's let himself and his side down there with just not releasing.
Well, he did the back play well by catching the high ball. What he should be excellent at his ball presentation. We just held on too long. Hence the penalty was given.
They're using Terre Blanche in this kicking role now with the right boot. He is a full-back as well as a temporary winger.
I don't think he's going to be a touch kicker for too much longer, I don't think.
Henry Tromp used to play with Natal and Western Transvaal before making the move to Northern Transvaal. The hooker. Shooting out, and Richter got it away, but it didn't matter for anything because it had been knocked forward in there. Adriaan Richter, the captain of this touring team, played 7 test matches for South Africa. Look at the mud. Caked into the boots and socks. Nice and warm in there. I love the way Deacon's just nonchalantly leaning on the hooker's shoulder. Captain's right, just to take a rest on the hooker.
Well, really, that's got Gloucester nowhere. The scrum was exactly the same place as where the line-out's going to be. And really, when you pass it straight back to the fly half, you really want to make some yardage.
No rhyme or reason for this line out. As soon as one side looks like getting on top, the other side comes in and makes a decent take. Van Stratton on the crash ball. Richter can see it. Turken Van Ass now as he sees the backs lining up left as well. It's meant for Dutoy. Ter Blanche is in there. Bit of interest here for Northern Transvaal. They've been penalised for holding it in. But now, away on the far side, we've got a real set to. Otto's in there. And there's screams for off from the Gloucester fans around us here. Sims can't quite believe what's happened. I must admit my eyes were trained on the breakdown away to the corner flag. Well, I think he's off. I've just heard headbutt off, so whoever did that is going to go.
Well, if it's a headbutt, he's got to walk. There's no question about that. Anybody that headbutts in a rugby field has got to walk. And it looks like Ackerman.
Johan Ackerman. Well, this is a sour end to the tour for Northern Transvaal. There he goes. No further part in the match for him. Torn jersey, torn pride. Shouldn't have done it, was spotted. Red card.
Well, the referee can only go by what the touch judge says, and the touch judge, he says he's seen the headbutt, the referee's going to act on that.
Got to say, the reaction from all of the crowd around us was an instant one. Very disappointing way to end the tour. Didn't seem to protest though. Van der Westhuizen. Good take from Roberts. Big strong man, and it shows. Kimber. Now the crowd have been lifted by that, so have the Gloucester players. Extra little buzz in the legs there of Morris.
Well, now Northern Transvaal locks off the field. Means that a line-out man is off the field as well. Down to 7 men, and it's really up to Gloucester now to take advantage of that.
But I'll tell you what, Northern Transvaal won't lie down. I mean, Gloucester man, they will try and prove a point over the next 25 minutes or so. It could be a very interesting conclusion to this match. We're all level at 16 points all. Nordia. He looks keen, doesn't he now, racing up the right wing. But Morris. An elusive runner. Straight over the top. And also stay on your feet. Instruction from the referee. The players arriving behind Morris, going straight to the ground and also over the top. So, clear penalty. Viv Woolley can't sit down. Has to just stretch the legs a little bit now. There's the Gloucester have been going very well in the league with that win against Leicester and draw against Bath. Important to keep the run going, whatever the fixture. effectiveness in the line-out, no doubt to be reduced by the loss of Ackerman, but Otto, tall, gangly second-row partner of Ackerman. It was a good catch by him. And now the rolling maul. Let's keep it on the move, and they're doing that with the encouragement of number 6, Kruger. Van der Westhuizen out to Otto. Oh, a nice little miss move as well in the centre, which brought round Brayton back. And it's back to Van der Westhuizen. They're screaming for it out wide, but they take it in short through Van Stratton. Almost there. And another long blast. And it's a penalty. Gloucester penalised for pulling it down, and they'll have to recover their defensive positions. They don't in time. Try Northern Transvaal. And underneath that, I think that's Henry Tromp. And haven't they hit back well after the sending off?
Well, in adversity, South African sides are normally pretty good. I think Gloucester relaxed a little bit as well. It was a soft try really in the end, but good pressure by Northern Transvaal. Good forward pressure as well.
Yes, it was good forward pressure. They never let Gloucester off the hook, and they were more aware once the penalty had been given. Well, it says a lot about the character of the side to have a man sent off, and then to produce arguably their best phase of play in the match. Van As. We've already seen he doesn't miss many. And at the end of this match, that kick could prove to be vital. 5 from 6 is an excellent record for the afternoon. 7 points the difference now.
Well, Gloucester, even against 14 men, have realised they've got to raise their game to beat this Northern Transvaal side.
That was off the right boot.
Midway through the second half in the County Championship semi-final, it's Northumberland.
Van As is a talented footballer. The rain continues to drive down. Looking at the colour of the clouds all around, it's certainly not going to stop. Consequently, that pitch will just continue to deteriorate. It's Glanville with the drive. But he had it ripped away. That's a quite appalling attempt at a kick.
Well, the forwards won't be too happy because they'd ripped the ball back. And certainly Van Stratton, not his best kick of the day. I don't think he's had many either, but it goes sideways, I think, rather than... Actually, I've changed that. I think it's gone backwards.
Smith was totally unmarked at the tail. This is Deacon. Quick ball required by Fenley. Nearly denied to him. Now Kimber with the drop goal. Just wide.
Big miss. Plenty of time, really. That's a big miss. Unlike him too, his record of drop kicks has been good this season. That should be a banker there.
Also picked a bit of grass to drop the ball onto. I thought was a good effort. Kimber. Now in a defensive role, but he put Roberts in all kinds of problems there. Brayton back went through. Go back to the knock-on.
Rather unnecessary play by Gloucester there. The calling wasn't probably very good. And again, Northern Transvaal spotted the space, the quick 22 dropout. Ball's hurled back. Kimber's under pressure immediately. And again, as Roberts came towards him, the pass went the other way.
Gloucester having the advantage in the scrummage. They have taken 2 against the head. Should explain, if you're seeing and wondering, numbers 17, 18 and 16 in the Northern Transvaal side. There's Van der Westhuizen wearing 16. They're wearing those numbers because the alternatives didn't have long sleeves.
So that kick's gone straight out on the full. The referee's come back to say the Gloucester bats on the other side of the field are offside. Well, they're on the far side of the pitch. He's saying they're offside. Now, that's ludicrous because they weren't involved in the game at all, and to just pick on them and give this goal kick opportunity is, I think, a poor decision.
And possibly a vital one.
Well, indeed so. I mean, Van Aert has just put the ball into touch, and certainly I think it's a poor decision. I'll be interested to see what Stuart Barnes in the studio has to say about that. Stuart?
Well, I think that's another example of the problems we're having with refereeing. There's a lack of common sense at times. They're not really thinking about the objective of refereeing. They should be letting the game flow, and that didn't interfere. And unfortunately, we're seeing far too much of that this season, Jamie.
And Stuart, certainly it didn't affect how Van Haas kicked the ball, did it?
No, certainly not.
Well, how will he kick the ball now? And if it's 3 more points, the Northern Transvaal aren't out of sight, but a gap of 10 points into the last quarter, and that's a problem for Gloucester. Van Aers, economy of effort, another terrific strike.
Well, I think Gloucester can feel very hard done by this penalty. Okay, he struck it well and he's got the 3 points. All he can do is do as the referee tells him to do, and he kicks a penalty, fair enough. But I'm afraid the referee did Gloucester no favours at all then.
And we now know why Lance Sherrill is on the bench. Reinhard van Aers is a player to watch.
Well, he's certainly a goal kicker to watch. They've been looking for a replacement from Lars Botha, but he retired 2 or 3 years ago in the goal kicking department, and they found that.
Just needs to work on his distribution from fly half, but Gloucester now having to really go back with Holford. Caskey's in there, and they carried it over.
Well, it's extraordinary. Since the man Ackerman was sent off, Northern Transvaal have really been on song here. Roberts drops that high ball. These conditions, just the right thing to do, kick and chase. There's no point trying to pick it up. And there Holford goes back. Caskey rips it off him, but he's taking it over.
Good drive from Gloucester though. Richter breaks, Kruger goes with him, Van Aers, little shimmy, and now he's got the try to add to all the kicks at goal. Ter Blanche helped him stay in. Some of the Gloucester players don't like it, thought he'd gone out of play, but try stands.
Well, Penny isn't too amused by the decision. But a reasonable back row move. There's Kruger standing off as well. Good wide pass to Van Aers, little dummy there. What a great effort by Kimber. It didn't seem to ground it too heavily to me, I must say.
Maybe we'll get a better look from this angle. A lovely little dummy. Now, did he get the ball down?
Well, the referee, to be fair, was in a real reasonable position. But I tell you what, if that ball is grounded, then, well, I'm afraid I don't think that's a try at all, in my opinion.
Absolutely, agree with you. That was never grounded.
The referee was only a yard away as well.
Well, it could be a score that takes Northern Transvaal to victory. It should take them to victory now. His most difficult kick of the day. Oh, didn't give it a good go though.
Well, trying to convert his own try, Van Aers. And there's certainly a lot of debate going on here about it. As you see him coming towards the corner, just try and watch the ball. His legs aren't a problem going to touch. Bentley's over the top, and that to me never gets anywhere near the ground. That's never a try. There's no downward pressure on the ball on the turf. It's what you need.
And no wonder Fenley felt aggrieved.
Quite rightly too, because that's curtains. Now with this rain getting heavier and heavier, Gloucester are going to try and run it from everywhere. You're bound to make mistakes, especially from deep. And with a 15-point lead, Northern Transvaal should have wrapped up this game. Absolutely pouring down now. No supporters thankful of the cover. Is there any fight left in Gloucester? Light shining brightly, illuminating that rain. Us adding that try to some great goal kicking today, but I think it wasn't a try. Van der Westhuizen. It'll be a difficult one to take. Kasky got it on the rebound. Back for a knock-on. It's coming back on the Gloucester side, but referee feeling more advantage from the scrummage. Well, I think Gloucester can just expect a lot of high kicks now for Northern Transvaal. They haven't got to do anything constructive or positive or score tries to win this game. They're in the driving seat, despite only having 7 men in the forwards. Kimber. Dutoy putting the brakes on. The centre of the pitch is looking like a farmyard at the moment. And that ball is getting increasingly more difficult to take. Repeated knock-ons, the story of the last 5 minutes. And Northern Transvaal will just get the ball back to Van Aers, or indeed Van der Westhuizen will put it over the top. They'll get it down there. There's Van der Westhuizen detecting that it's anybody's from the high ball now, catching so difficult. Tromp hacks on. Morris is across. He should have the pace of the hooker and does. That deserved a round of applause. He did, because by beating Tromp the hooker, he cut the angle down for getting to touch. So he did very well indeed to get the length he did. Good cover. Well played. He's not short of a yard too, Morris. He's quick. I'm surprised at his pace. I didn't realise that he was as quick as that. And clearly versatile, because, as we said earlier, he's played in the centre this year and now on the wing. And enjoying this new running philosophy when given the opportunity at Gloucester. Now this looks like Chris D, who's come onto the field. And that looks like an arm injury, doesn't it, to Martin Roberts? Fullback Roberts off. And D comes on. It looks as if he'll play out on the wing with Osborne slipping in at fullback. Van Aers. Round on the wrong side. Pick it up, Ross!
Kimber's kicking to touch has been more than respectable. Walker goes in. Didn't seem to turn the right way, and it was popping back on the Northern Transvaal side. But they've been penalised for offside.
I don't think Northern Transvaal will be too concerned how many times they get penalised now. They would have done 15-20 minutes ago, and the game was in danger of going either way. And now they're very comfortably. But another penalty. There he goes, the referee.
Not 10 metres. Touch judge helping out there with the referee. Deacon to call the shots. Sims will have to take the ball with him. Back to Fenley. Glanville, who scored that try in the first half. Right at the start of the match. He set it back for Fenley. Kimber. Now Morris has moved in. Osborne comes flying in. Well, Deere made a good covering tackle. And playing it on the floor, Northern Transvaal give another penalty away.
Yeah, no question about it. Van Straten just came in and took the ball off the ruck.
Deacon. Intention is to set it back, and it eventually comes. Kimber. Oh, great chance for Morris if he gets the break, but Dutoy makes the mark.
Well, it was a fair option, but Dutoy had it covered in the end from Kimber. Little chip over the top. There you see him calling for the mark. Comfortably given.
And they've taken play almost up to the halfway line.
Go, 26, 48. Over the line, sir.
I was with the tourists on Thursday, and they said never experienced cold like the other night in Treorchy.
Well done, boys.
They will rarely have experienced mud and rain like this in Kingsholm this afternoon.
They should be grateful they didn't come in December.
They're finishing with a smile. They're finishing on a winning note. Sims. Fenley. Where's he going? Every man for himself in there. Kimber. Giving D a run. And the kick on as well. Morris is going through. Well, an unusual score. And something for the home supporters to cheer about.
Well, it is very odd indeed, because I don't know if it's going to be given in the end, but you'll see as it goes through here, another little grubber through. Kicked on, everybody else is pointing, the Northern Transvaal players are pointing back to the 22. But it seems to stand the try. The touch judge was very reluctant to go behind the goalpost at one stage, but seems to be talked into it by the referee. So he has given the try in the end. The Northern Transvaal players are just giving the touch judge a word of advice underneath the goalpost.
Confusion reigns. Simon Morris, who scored 4 league tries, adding 1 in this friendly. Alongside him, number 14, Paul Holford. He scored 5 league tries. They've been prolific for Gloucester this season. Would have been strange had one of them not scored. But they were rather strange circumstances, weren't they? considering the conditions, both kickers have done really well this afternoon. Van Aars for Northern Transvaal and Osborne for Gloucester. And just it just fell short. Signalled by the Northern Transvaal players, who rather lost their faith in the touch judge. 10 points the difference then. We've got 4 minutes to play.
Well, Gloucester are going to have to do something special to win this game now. At least they're fighting right to the end. Another score very quickly would make it interesting, that's for sure.
Yes, a little bit of time to add. So Van der Westhuizen plays the percentages, pushes Gloucester back towards their own line. Chris D. One or two supporters unhappy with the challenge, thought it was late. No problem, says the referee. But Gloucester need to get straight back up there, don't they? Time is not on their side.
No, it's not. In these conditions, it takes a long time to get up there. That's the problem.
Now, what happened there? The use of the wrong arm by Northern Transvaal in that line out, using the outside arm. Then they added a bit of back chat to the situation, and Gloucester rather helped in their quest to get upfield. D with those fresh legs, and more importantly from my viewpoint, a clean jersey, chasing through on Nordia. With Woolley all of a sudden interested, maybe, just maybe, his side could get back into it. He's asking a lot.
It most certainly is, but they'll certainly keep on going as quick as they can.
Let's get in there! No relaxing, get on the ball!
Fiddler went up, Kruger took it. And Van der Westhuizen quite happy to work his way out of defence slowly. Francois Nordia ending the tour on a high note. Another try for him today. 2 against Leinster, 1 against the combined provinces. Not bad. Fenley. Kimber. Morris is charging through on Dutoy. I know the boys at half-time said that Dutoy was looking shaky in defence. He hasn't really in the second half. Anyway, here's Jamie with his man of the match decision.
Well, I don't think we can go past Bernard Van Aars. 21 points in the game. He's kicked superbly well. He's got a rather fortuitous try, but I think he's the man really that kept Northern Transvaal going. Early doors they were struggling, but he got the penalties over, got them back in the game, and for that I think he's a worthy recipient of man of the match today.
And possibly man of the tour. He's topped 50 points now. There's little or no chance for Fenley in there, was there? Van Aars away.
Come on, boys!
Despite their advantage at the line-out, Gloucester not going to victory. Although Smith will give it one last effort. Rarely see Ian Smith have a bad game. Northern Transvaal clearly over the top. Got to run it now, Gloucester. They've given Gloucester another 10 metres as we watch the reason for the penalty. There you can see right over the top. So what is Gloucester's parting shot? It's the big drive through the middle. Window took it on. More hands and bodies on the wrong side. But Gloucester have been penalised for offside. And it's Northern Transvaal who get the penalty.
Well, again, I thought Northern Transvaal went in to kill the ball there as well, so I thought it should have gone the other way, to be honest with you. To be fair, it's hard with the referee with the mud and everything else to distinguish it, but he can't get it right all the time, I suppose.
Yes, I can think of better days weather-wise. This is D. Well, it was until the whole of Northern Transvaal arrived to take it off him. The whistle's gone as Hawker looks for glory.
I do. Gloucester have battled well today. I mean, you're talking about a provincial side in South Africa. I mean, it's a very tough competition, the Currie Cup in South Africa. Northern Transvaal, they're probably 5th or 6th in the pecking order in South Africa at the moment, hence why they're not playing in the Super 10s. But they've done well, Gloucester, to keep at it today.
Van der Westhuizen off to Van Aers. It's been a very capable partnership today. Terre Blanche trying to show his kicking ability. But D is able to hoist that one. Richter. That went forward. But the referee hasn't blown up, so fair game. Oh, he's playing advantage. Fenley. And the referee finally decides that is it. I don't think the pitch would have taken much more. It's a winning finish for Northern Transvaal. Just the one defeat on this short tour to end up here in England at Kingsholm. Reinhard van Aers, our man of the match. And some disappointed Gloucester players whose excellent run of late is brought to an end. They will look back at various points of the match, particularly that try by Van Aers, which seemed to signify the end of this as a contest. I think our replay clearly showed that Van Aers did not ground the ball. That's all history now. Handshakes all round. As should be the case at the end of a touring game. Gloucester 21, Northern Transvaal 31.